So we are on to block number 4 of the designer mystery block of the month from Fat Quarter Shop. And I'm gonna have to say this block is what I call a little busy. It's a lot of green. So this is what our block is going to look like this month right here. This block is designed by Corey Yoder. The name of this block is Lily. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen right there. If I had a daughter, her name would have been Lily. I love that name, but I have 2 boys, so there's no chance for a girl over here, okay? I mean, no. I'm going to sew this block step by step, and I'm going to show you my process of making the block. So let's sew the block. All right. So like I said, this is what our block for this month, block number 4. I have my pieces right over here. We're going to start sewing. So step number 1, have us making flying geese with this green piece, okay? So this is step number 1. We're going to make flying geese, nothing, no biggie. So this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to go through step by step and show you how this block is made. So this is step number 1. It is important to line these up so that way your flying geese doesn't look wonky on you. I'm going to be pressing open when you're making flying geese to decrease from a bump right up here. So when you sew, if you press to the side like this, when you go sew your other piece on, it's going to be a little bumpy. So to reduce from the bump, I like to just press open just because of that. So what I'm going to do now is sew my other piece on. That's done. So my flying geese is completed. What I'm going to do now is give it a little bit of heat and I'll meet you back here, okay? Here are my step 1 already completed, and we are going to need 4 of them, just like that. So all 4 are done. I'm going to put it to the side. So now we're going to work on step number 2. Step number 2 is also flying geese. The exact same way that I just made is right here. So that's done. That's step number 2. And then step number 3 wants us to connect the flying geese together. So you're going to have your green piece right here, and then you're going to have the flowery one right here. So all 4 will be connected together. And what I'm going to do now is pick one, make sure this is to the left and this to the right, and then just sew them together. I'm just going to chain piece it. I have sewn all of my pieces together, all 4 of them. Notice that the left is always, my left is the green, and then my right is the green floral. So make sure you orient your pieces the right way, otherwise you're going to be visiting with Mr. Jack, and he is not fun. Next, we are going to make our 3/4 square. For this step right here, I do mine a little different. The pattern has a detailed instruction of how, like a very beginner friendly, that they want you to do. But for me, I have already made HST right here. So what I'm going to do is omit that step and do it a different way. I will show you now, and then if it works for you, great. Otherwise, you can always refer to the instruction in the book. I have right here the size that they want it to be. So what I did was I made 2 square. I made it a little bit bigger and trim it down to the size that it's supposed to be. I have here another square that is exact same size as this HST right here. Okay, so I'm going to put it right size together, making sure that I have my square orient the right way. I'm going to fold it back to make sure it's orienting the right way. I'm going to make sure that my green is to the upper right, my green floral is to the bottom left, and then I will put my exact same size square. I will put it on top right here and fold it back like this to make sure it's oriented the right way, because if it's not, your 3/4 square will kind of like would not face the right way no matter how you try. I'm going to sew that now. I'm going to show you at the end. I'm going to sew straight down the middle. I do have the seam allowance tape here, so I'm not going to draw a line. So I'm sewing straight down the middle. This is what it looks like right here. So we have your green going this way, your floral, and then the solid background going just like that. So like that, we're done. So what I'm going to do now is trim it. I don't need to measure anything. It doesn't really matter at this point. And then you have your square, and I'm going to finger press open like that. So we're done. This is what the rest of them look like. That's that right there. I'm going to do the next one just like that so you can see it one more time. This is my HST right here. I'm going to put my square solid color on top, right side together, fold it back to make sure that it's facing the way it's supposed to be facing, like that. See, I'm going to sew right down the middle like that. Always check it before you trim to make sure it's going the right way. And it is. So now I'm going to trim it. Now that all 4 of them are completed, I'm going to put it aside, and then we're going to move on to our next step. So our next step wants us to take another rectangle. So I have my white, and I have 2 different colored squares. So be careful, not just place them anywhere. This one, they want us to put the green with the little hexy, the little check. They want us to put it to the left. So what I'm going to do is make this right here and put my green to my left, and then make a flying geese. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to press open for this. And then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to put the green floral to my right. The dark green to the left, green floral to the right. So don't make that mistake and putting it to the wrong side, and then it doesn't match up, and then you're going to be upset. Oh, this step is done, and I have the rest of them already right here. I have the green right here, and then I have the floral right there. So the next step here, we're going to do a upside down flying geese with this right here. So the lines are going this way on this fabric. What they want you to do is when you lay your line on here, the line has to be going this direction. It's very, very illustrated in the direction of how to put it. So what you're going to do is put it like this, and then we're going to sew like that, kind of like an upside down flying geese. So my lines are going this way, okay? And I'm going to fold back, and now it's going straight like this. So they want you to orient it a certain way to get that look. And I'm going to come to the other side, take this going this way, flip it over, right side to right side, and sew going this way, okay? Here we are right here. This is what it's going to look like. And I believe in the finishing kit that we got, we have to do plenty of this type of rectangle, like oval looking thing in the middle. So there you go. That's what it's supposed to look like. The lines are going the exact same way. I'm going to do one more for you to see. So we have this one right here. I'm going to put my square over. I'm going to sew from the upper right to the lower left. So here we are. All 4 of them are completed like that, and they're all facing the same way. So let me show you right there. They don't look perfect, but they are done, and they are measured what they're supposed to be measuring. So that's this step right here. So now what we are doing is taking this that we've already completed, first step that we had done a little bit ago. We're going to add squares to both sides. I'm just going to chain piece it and call it a day. These 2 are done. We have 2 of this, and we will have 2 of this, okay? This is the last part of it. So all we're doing now, all I did was I sewed this together, and then this one I sewed the same way and just added the sides. That's all we're doing for this section. Next, we are going to take our middle piece right here. This is our middle, this blue guy. We are going to take the oval upside down flying geese that we did earlier, making sure that your line or your blue piece are facing towards the center. So your center is right here, and these blue pieces are going to be facing towards it. Not like this, but like this. This is the step for this part right here. I would have been done putting a white piece here and a white piece here. That would be it, and it would have been a perfect block. Now we're going to take our square that we made earlier, our 3/4 inch square, and we're going to make sure that the white part is facing this way, facing inner, and then facing inside, and we're going to connect them. We're going to sew these together, so let's do that. For this right here, I'm just going to make sure that my seams are nesting, and then I'm going to pin right here so that way they don't move on me. And then for right here, I'm also going to pin. This is done. This step right here is done right now. Okay, so next we're going to do the final assembly for this block. Now you know why when I said it's a lot of step for this one, it is quite a bit of step for it. This is what we're doing. We're going to put this one. Now I need to make sure that it is facing the right way. So I'm going to put this, like that. So my flying geese will be facing this way. This looks like a little heart and they match, and this looks like a little heart and they match. Same thing here. So what we're doing now is sewing this side and then sewing this side. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to sew this side on like this. I'm going to flip it like this so that way I make sure that I don't chop off my points rather. Sew this part like this. And I'm going to match the points and hold it down. The sides are sewn on. We are going to do the top and then we're going to be done with this. This is what it's going to look like. And this is what it's going to finally look like. Okay, all points are matching. So this is our block right here in all. Okay, so all I'm doing is just piecing this part and piecing this, and we are going to be done. Our lily block is done. Just like that. The only thing I'm going to say about this block is that yes, it is a little busy. It does require paying attention, and yes, Mr. Jack had to come out tonight. With that, block number 4, the lily block, is completed. This is what our blocks look like at the end. A beginner can totally tackle this. The instruction in the pattern is very detailed. I will say that my block here is done. With that being said, I have completed block number 4 from the Designer Mystery Block of the Month from Fat Quarter Shop. This is what our block look like this month. I think it's pretty, but time consuming. You know what I always said? I have done my block. Now it's time to do yours. I hope you are following along. Before I go, I would love it if you subscribe down below. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.